Are some of our most prominent politicians living double lives? Do they stand on podiums condemning crime with confidence while behind the scenes they are rubbing shoulders with the very same underworld figures? Because right now the lines between politics and criminality in South Africa are starting to blur in a very uncomfortable way. The latest exposés involving Julius, Malema and Gayton McKenzie should worry all of us. Hello everyone, welcome back to Joe Talks Politics. I am your host, Joseph Musia. Let's get right into this. It's beginning to feel like the Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee are not enough. We were already dealing with a situation where a minister allegedly interfered with the police operations and senior police officials were accused of working with crime syndicates. That alone is deeply troubling. But now things are escalating. Let's start with Julius Malema. His long-running rivalry with the Patriotic Alliance has now spilled into the courts. After being accused by Kenny Kunene of associating with a controversial underworld figure, Malema has responded with a defamation lawsuit. He wants a retraction and an apology as well as R1 million in damages. But Kunene is not backing down. In his responding papers, he links Malema to the late taxi boss Jothan Msibi, also known as Mswazi, a man widely alleged to have led a powerful taxi cartel and criminal network.
The late Jothan Msibi,
yes.
Mswazi, used to call him in the early hours, and he would wake up, jump in the car and drive to Mswazi's farm, which is in Hammanskraal, from the backyard of Mazoti. He is saying that that is not true. However, I have two affidavits of a person that used to frequent there, that saw him there, that saw him drop the money there. I have an affidavit, which is part of the my answering affidavit, of a person that worked there day and night, a person that counted the money on behalf of Mr. Mswazi, a person that has mentioned a Louis Vuitton bag that brought money to Mr. Mswazi, held by Julius Malema, a person that has also said that Julius Malema used to bring expensive bottles of whiskey, Macallan whiskey, which Mr. Mswazi loved so much and enjoyed. So he even knew personal taste of Mr. Mswazi. So I don't know. When I say bring it on, I'm saying, you say I'm lying when I say Mr. Mswazi used to call you.
Yeah.
But the witnesses who have since signed affidavits to the fact that he's been there, not once at night, he's been there during the day. At some point at night, he was brought in by Zin Ngumalo to the farm. Money was there.
Now, we must be fair here. Kunene and Malema are political enemies, and that matters. But Kunene is not relying on words alone. He has brought forward witnesses. One of them, Tsepo Mulekwa, claims he worked closely with Msibi. He says he personally saw Malema visiting Msibi's compound late at night. And in one instance, he alleges Malema arrived with a Louis Vuitton bag containing 80,000 rands and an expensive bottle of whiskey. Another witness, identified only as Witness A, says he fears for his life. Not hypothetically, not emotionally, but because, in his words, this is a highly volatile and lethal environment. He claims his testimony directly links Malema to Msibi. Now, here is the uncomfortable truth. This is not the first time Malema has been linked to Msibi. Even former Police Minister Bekicele mentioned his presence at Msibi's funeral. So the question is no longer just about allegations. It becomes a question of judgment. Why would a senior political leader, a man who speaks about justice and accountability, associate with someone widely believed to be at the center of organized crime?
I've been to his wedding. I've been to the white wedding, the traditional wedding. I've been to his funeral. And in every place where I've been, I've never been underground. It has been public. I mean, I'm a noticeable figure with a huge presence, so I can't be there. Nobody sees that I'm there.
Are you surprised now then by the allegations that are coming out against him?
I will not be surprised. If you know taxi people, there are sort of allegations against them that they're involved in this and that, amongst other things, the killing. But I was not going to know a boss, a taxi boss, because I deal with those people. I transport people to my EFF rallies. And those people of taxis own buses, by the way. You need buses. Those are the people you have to talk to. And it is only natural that I have to know them. I know Jos Banyoni. I've been to his events. Do I do anything criminal with them? No.
Even if no crime was committed, what does that proximity say? Now here's where things get even more complicated. Because Kenny Kunene himself is not exactly standing on clean ground. Two critical questions arise. First, how does he know these witnesses so well? People who allegedly worked for taxi boss Msibi. Second, why was he found at the home of another alleged syndicate figure during a police raid? His explanation that he was there as a journalist raises more eyebrows than it settles. And then there's Gayton McKenzie, a man who has built a political brand on redemption and law and order rhetoric. Yet he now faces allegations from Germaine Prim, a convicted fraudster and alleged gang figure. Prim claims he had dealings with McKenzie, he assisted with political campaigns, and was even supported by McKenzie while in prison. He goes further, alleging attempts to silence him. Of course, McKenzie denies all of this. In fact, he says he has never even met Prim.
Never met him. I spoke to Germaine Prim over the phone. It took me, I think, 6 to 8 months to figure out or be told by a guy called Jack Watson that this guy is in jail. And I confronted him. I said, "Are you calling me from jail?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Why?" He said, "I was too embarrassed to tell." I said, "You can't be embarrassed, man. We all make mistakes." We start chatting on Facebook. We start chatting. He's sending me messages. Next moment, I get a 2002. Joera Kaldin and 4 women in the PA come to me crying, saying this man is harassing them. He says he's going to kill them. He wants favors from them. I said, "Go to the police station." That was 2002.
22.
2022. They went to the police station in Raru Park. They opened the cases. I said, "Send me the proof." They did send me the proof. I have the proof right with me here. 2 weeks thereafter, so I confront him. He apologizes to me. I said, "No, it's fine. I forgive you. It's cool. Let's just be cool." I've never met this man. If that man walked past me, I would not know he's Germaine Prim. He then harassed our Deputy Secretary General. Now, as a leader of the party, I then cut all ties with him. Only for this man now that has been in jail. Number one, I'm not married. So if he says to my wife he's talking things he doesn't know. Number two, this man says I'm a drug dealer. You know, it's laughable for me. I spent 15 years of my life going to schools every day, telling young kids about the dangers of drugs. Germaine Prim is a disaster.
But here's where it gets interesting. McKenzie openly admits to having relationships with known gangsters.
I grew up knowing exactly who's the big gangsters in this country, and it isn't even these guys.
Who are the big gangsters in this
It
country?
was people like Rashid Staghi. It was people like Ernie Lastag.
Did you know these guys personally?
Those guys, I recruited them to come and work with the PA to leave this thing of crime, and I failed.
Did you recruit William Red Stevens to work for the PA?
I did. William Red Stevens was the only one. When he died, he was a member of the PA. Rashid Staghi
Then
was...
did William Red Stevens use money that was the proceeds of crime and specifically drug trade to fund the PA?
How can William Stevens fund the PA? Like I'm broke. Like we are broke.
Doesn't matter. I mean, Ramaphosa is rich, but people still fund the ANC nonetheless. This isn't a personal project. It's a political party. Did he at any
You
point...
talk about gangsters here. You said, did these people... I'm saying to you today, we as PA don't go around and take money from guys. We know crime. We know what is the repercussions of crime. My brother, let me tell you something. I have never taken money from any gangster.
So what is happening here? Are political parties becoming vehicles for public service or shields for private interests? Are we witnessing conscience, political mudslinging, or something deeper and more systemic? Because when politicians across party lines are repeatedly linked to the same types of individuals, it stops being about personalities. It becomes about political culture. After the courts have spoken, after the commissions have concluded, it is entirely possible that no one will be found guilty of any crime. But that is not the only standard that matters. Because leadership is not just about legality. It is about judgment, integrity, and distance from danger. And right now, too many of our leaders seem comfortable operating in spaces where crime and politics overlap. So the real question is not just, did they break the law? But rather, why are they so close to those who do? If you enjoyed this episode, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. This was another episode of Joe Talks Politics. From me, Joseph Musia. See you next time.